everyone. Today we're going to be talking about going paperless with CrossCountry Maps. I'm Helen, the lead designer at CrossCountry App.
And I'm Josie, I do the support and marketing. So if you have questions or need a helping hand, I'll be the one answering.
And we are two of the three founders of CrossCountry App. So as eventing starts again, it's going to be really important for everyone's safety to have physical distancing at the events. And that's where we see CrossCountry App helping by enabling everyone to go paperless with their cross-country maps. And this is a direction that organisers have been wanting to go in for quite a while, but COVID-19 is just accelerating the process.
So we've talked to a number of organisers who've already run competitions, and we've run Going Paperless webinars. And we've had some terrific feedback, some really good ideas, which you've incorporated into this video.
Okay, let's get into it.
So we all want a safe return to competition, and that means physical distancing. So we'll look at how to go paperless with CrossCountry App. We'll take you step by step through the process with a checklist, and we'll talk about the all-important topic of communicating with riders, both before the competition and during it, especially if there are last-minute changes. And we'll also look at considerations for your particular venue. Do you have mobile or cell coverage? How do you want to handle the TD sign-off? And do you want to have any disclaimers on the courses? And we'll look at some tips for success. So the aim is reducing physical contact, and that's by going digital with the cross-country maps, both in the production, the collection, so when the riders come to the office to get them, and in the handling, for example, whether they might pass them around.
So digitizing means you get rid of all those physical touch points. It's all digital.
And I watched a webinar which was run by the US Eventing and US Equestrian, and I thought this is a really, really good quote from Jenny Autry, the managing director of eventing at US Equestrian. And what she said was, this is ultimately going to force us to become more technologically savvy as competitors and as organisers of the sport, so that we can eliminate contact with each other, pushing entries, any kind of paperwork online, and embracing the concept of electronic signatures. So we would encourage everyone to branch out of their comfort zone a little bit and embrace how we can really utilise technology and online platforms to be able to mitigate the spread of the virus as well. And that's really what we want to address today, and to help you break out of your comfort zones and go paperless with your cross-country maps.
So how does going paperless work? So events, they will record and publish their courses on CrossCountry mobile app, which is available on iPhone and Android. And these digital interactive maps will be the official maps for the competition. So they're interactive, you have a map, you can click on the different fences and see information and photos. And the digital maps would include all the information riders need. So these would be the optimum time and the speed, all the information that they would normally have on a paper map. Now, in many countries, it is a legal requirement for the technical delegate or advisor to sign a document of the cross-country maps. And this can still be done. So using the CrossCountry Toolkit, event organisers can export a PDF map to be signed off by the technical delegate. And this signature could be an electronic signature on a PDF. So third-party software such as Adobe Acrobat can allow you to electronically sign off on a document. Or alternatively, the organisers could print one copy of each map and manually sign that and then post it up at the event office. And we talked to a few organisers, and some of them have suggested that what they've done is put up a printed map at several locations at the venue, so that just minimises the crowding, everyone crowding in the one spot.
We had a map at the warm-up, in the lorry park, and at the secretary's office.
Yeah. So maps can be published before or after this official sign-off by the technical delegate. They can be published the week of the event, so the Monday or Tuesday perhaps. And then once additional details are known, such as the optimum time, then the courses can be signed off, and then they can be republished and updated on CrossCountry App. it's very easy to just make a change and then republish instantly. And there's a lot of great benefits for going digital for riders. So the maps are always handy on your smartphone. I can't think of the countless number of times I've lost the paper map or it's gotten wet and scrunched up in my pocket. You can also download the maps for offline use. So if your venue doesn't have good mobile reception, then using the CrossCountry iPhone or Android app, they can download the maps before they get there.
And for riders who are using watches, they will get their minute markers, and all riders can pinpoint their location on course. And that's really useful if you're walking a course that perhaps you're not very familiar with. It may not be roped, so it's not obvious where you have to go. And the next jump may be over the hill or around the corner or through the woods. And so being able to see where you are in relation to the course really helps you. And it can save a lot of time for riders. And riders are going to be pretty stressed, or some are, going into a new start for eventing. So having the courses available, having jump photos, which are optional, you don't have to include the photos, but they can add their own. It helps them remember the course and visualize it. And they can add audio and text notes. And so that's just something that will help them feel a bit more comfortable, feel a bit more confident and better prepared. And there are benefits for the organisers as well. As we said, it enables physical distancing, no need for the riders to come and physically collect their maps. It saves on printing costs, saves on toner, and saves you time. We were talking to one of the organisers who was saying how she would be standing doing the photocopying at 9 o'clock at night before the event, having got the sign off. So that's a time saver as well. It's environmentally friendly, and you can republish last minute changes without having to reprint the maps. And having the map obviously is really handy for officials, for stewards, for fence judges who need to go and find their fence. Remember that little location tool that shows them where they are. And you'll get a lot of goodwill from competitors because they really appreciate having those digital maps.
Yeah, and it will save them walking around the course with a measuring wheel or having to record it themselves.
And so there's a few other areas where having the digital maps can support social distancing. So in some countries, owners are not allowed to attend at the moment, or it may be just one owner, and you may have a syndicate of several owners. And so to keep your owners involved, the rider can just quickly record some audio on each fence after completing the cross country and explain how it rode, how the horse behaved, and share that privately with the owners who can't be there. And that's really good for keeping them engaged, because we've got to keep the owners engaged in the sport. And a second area is the course walks. Now, a lot of events organise course walks with coaches, and then you get a whole gaggle of people all clustered around the coach wanting to listen to those pearls of wisdom. And what you can do with a virtual guided course walk is you can have that same information, but you don't have the riders all clustered together. And it also means that they can listen again and again, and that helps their feeling of being prepared. We've had a few organisers who said that one of the benefits that they've seen of having virtual guided course walks is that riders are more prepared, they ride better, and for example, if you have a fall on course, as well as being a not a good safety outcome, it can mean long delays, and if you could run out of daylight on your cross country. So that's really one big benefit. And the final one is engaging and promoting your sponsors, because again, we've got to keep the sponsors in the sport. We can't have spectators, we can't have trade stands at the moment. So at least with your sponsors, you can have their logos on the virtual course walks and information about them. So, and you can also send those course walks to the sponsors so that they see that they are represented and they can feel engaged in your event as well.
So you may be wondering, okay, this sounds great, but how much does it cost? Well, riders can view the maps for free, or they can pay for premium features or premium app. So the CrossCountry Android app is currently in early access on the Play Store, and that is completely free to download, and it will always be free to just view maps. And the CrossCountry Lite app, which is the iPhone app, is available to download from the App Store for free as well. The CrossCountry iPhone app, which is the full version for the iPhone app, this includes minute markers, and this can be purchased for $14.99 US from the App Store. So these digital maps will be no extra cost for the riders, but if they want to pay for the premium app or the premium features, then they can do so and improve their performance. And the maps can also be viewed online for free at crosscountryapp.com/courses. And organisers can record and publish unlimited courses with CrossCountry App. So once they've purchased the CrossCountry iPhone app, then they can publish as many courses as they want. And at the moment, the Android app is free in the Play Store as well. So optionally, organisers can subscribe to the CrossCountry Toolkit. Now, this is software which runs in the browser on any smartphone, tablet, or computer. And for a yearly subscription, you can print maps, you can have access to extra editing tools, so you can drag the track, move jumps, and you can also collaborate with multiple people. So multiple people can have access to a course and make edits. So that's great if you're working with the event organisers, collaborating with the course designer, who's also collaborating with the technical delegate. They can all access that course privately. And it's free to sign up at toolkit.crosscountryapp.com. And there's quite a few things you can do in there for free as well. So it's a great time to just give it a go, have a try, and then you can subscribe at a later date.
So what are the things that you need to think about, and what process would you go through to publish your maps and go paperless? First of all, as Helen mentioned, you would record the courses with the CrossCountry mobile app. Optionally, you can then publish those courses as unofficial courses so that people can look at them just a few days before the event. And they could have photos or not. It's really up to you, and it depends on the time that you have available. The riders still really appreciate having those digital maps. They can then add their own photographs. Now, the next step would be then to approve the courses, and that could be, as Helen mentioned earlier, by exporting the PDF maps and signing those either digitally or physically. Or you may just change the name and republish those as the official maps in the course library. And the next step, very importantly, is to let the riders know. So make sure the riders know what the status of those courses is, when they're available. If nothing else, if they know they're coming, it will stop them badgering you to find out when they're going to be available. So the important thing is to make a plan, decide who's going to record the courses. If your course designer already uses the toolkit, then you'll have the courses already available to you. And who will make them publish, at what point will they do that, who will update them with the optimum time, for example. So it's just important to have that process in mind, because when competition week arrives, it's very busy and people need to know what actions they're going to be taking.
And recording the courses involves walking around the course with the CrossCountry mobile app, and the GPS in the mobile app will track the course as you go.
Or you can record with the quad bike.
Yep, save time.
Yep. So the next thing is communicating with the riders. So when will the courses be available? What's their status, for example? And there are a number of ways of doing this. Now, organisers who are already publishing their courses find that the best, most effective way to do it is by email. So let the riders know when you send the initial notes or the draw that the courses are going to be available and where they can find them. And
you could also include links to download the iPhone and Android app at that point.
Yes, that's a good idea. So then they've got that on their phones already. And at the event, you can put the maps up in several places so that riders don't congregate. And then if they don't have the app, they can still take a photo of that map and walk the course with that. And some ideas for where you might put your maps are the Secretary's office, obviously, but also the warm-up, down at the start, and also in the car park or lorry park, for example. And you can also link those courses to your website, either embedding them or just a simple link. And we've got a really useful little course promotion kit, which you can download, which has templates for sending out those emails and how to use social, how you might share the courses on social media as well, for example.
And it has some posters in there as well, which you can stick up at your event.
And another area which is quite new is every event has a dedicated page which lists all those courses. So the example here at Warwick Hall just shows that they've got these courses and they're available, and that's something that you can again share on social media. You can simply link to your website. So as you make the courses public, they will appear automatically on this page. And the link that you would use would be crosscountryapp.com/events/ and then the event name, and you just use hyphens instead of spaces. But if you have any problems finding out what your event name is, just get in touch. But that's a really attractive way to promote your events.
And if you contact us, we can also add in a customized profile picture for you as well for your event. So now we're going to talk about some considerations when you should think about when you're going digital, and also some tips for success. So number one, consider mobile reception at the event. So if the reception is poor or non-existent, then publish courses a few days in advance, and then riders can download these maps and use them offline with CrossCountry App. The other point is think about how you're going to alert riders about updates to the course maps. So if changes are made to a course that is already published on CrossCountry App, then riders will need to be told to download the latest version. And you can do this, via loudspeaker announcements at the event. You could send out an email, or you could even send out text messages.
Yes, there are some good text messaging systems around, which are not expensive, that you can just automatically send out your message to all your riders.
And a future feature that we'd like to add to the app is push notifications that tell someone if a course they've already downloaded has been updated. So if you think this would be a useful feature, then please get in touch and let us know, and then we'll try and add that to the app.
Now, the other area is disclaimers and how you name the courses, because that's obviously a very important area. Now, you can add your own disclaimer in the course description. So you've got an example here. You can explain that the courses will be updated, where they have to go to get the official times. And then also we have an automatic disclaimer that appears in the course library. If a course is less than 2 weeks old, it will have this pop-up disclaimer and indicating that the riders must check the official map and they must walk their course. That's really, really important. We are not saying that having a virtual course walk is an alternative to walking the course. It is there to assist them. You can also use naming conventions for the event name or the course level, which is something that you set up when you do the publication to indicate what the status of the map is. So adding official, for example, in this case.
And you can also include extra details in the course description. So these might be some details that would normally be included on the paper maps that aren't automatically displayed in CrossCountry App. So some examples of this could be minimum time, time allowed. You can also add into the course details that it's been TD approved, so people know it's the final official map.
And that could also be speed faults in the USA.
Yeah. And so these course details, they're in every course, and in the iPhone app, they're also displayed in the course library. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that we're going to cover today. So now what are the next steps for you to get started making your digital maps? Well, number one, download CrossCountry App from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. And then sign up free to CrossCountry Toolkit. So to do that, you go to toolkit.crosscountryapp.com. And it's free to sign up, and you can upload courses that you've recorded in CrossCountry App to the toolkit, and then you can start looking at them in the toolkit on your computer. And also visit our Learn Hub. So we have a heap of step-by-step instructions there. We have more video tutorials. So to get all that information, you go to crosscountryapp.com/toolkit/learn. And if you have any questions, then please get in touch.
Yep.
info@crosscountryapp.com, and we're happy to help you. We know this may be stepping out of your comfort zone, but we're here to support you with that.
Definitely.
But thank you so much for watching, and we hope you found it useful.